Hello everyone, in this tutorial I will model iPhone 12 with every detail it has, maybe except that plugin part, but other than that I will try to model everything. The cameras, the lenses. So let's start. I will go to my front view and press Shift and V, go to back and select the image plane. And I will also increase my transparency something like 90%. Now I will offset my image. You can use the guidelines or plane to see if it is in the center or not. And it looks right. I will also offset my y-axis. I am looking at that edge and that edge. Okay, now I will add a rectangle and I will just decrease my width until it touches the outer edge. And I will also enable rounding, something like 31. Now I will add extrude. So all you need to do, press Alt, select your object and click on extrude. I will also enable my lines to see how many polygons I have. So I need to change that. This is not good. So I will go to my rectangle, intermediate points, and I will set them to natural. This is better, but this is too much. So I will decrease my number. Yeah, 3 is good because I have a center line here and also here. So I can use that easily for the symmetry object. And I will just make it editable, press C. This is gonna make a bunch of selections. I will select them and just delete. And I will also switch to polygon mode and select the polygons in the middle. And I will go to top view, select these points and move them. And I will select these points and delete, because this is our center edge, also this one. So we can easily delete these ones, also these ones too. So all I need is here. Since our center pivot is in the middle, I can use that for symmetry object. I will press Alt and select symmetry. I will do that one more time, but select symmetry object, press Alt and symmetry. But I will change my mirror plane to X and Z. Now I will go to my right view, press Shift and V, and I will add the same image for the right side. And I will also increase my transparency to 90. I will go to my front view and I will copy my Y axis and go to the right view and paste it. I will also offset my X. I will select my symmetry objects and click on these options. These are very important. Now I will select the outer edges, right click and extrude. And I will extrude until here. Now I will select these edges, press Ctrl, and I will move them inside. Then I will switch to polygon mode. Like that polygon. Press Ctrl and Shift and select the last polygon. Now I will right click and split. So in order to work, symmetry to work, I need to make them one object or one group. So I will select them. I will press Alt and G. Now I will select these edges, go to right view, and I will move them a little bit, not much. Now I will right click, select extrude and extrude. Now I will select these two edges, press Ctrl and move. And also I will set my X to 0. I will make some loop cuts. Then right click and bridge. Let's make another loop cut. Bridge and close. Let's do the same thing for the back, but I won't do that. I will just copy my polygon or object, switch to model mode, go to coordinates, and I will reverse my z-axis like -1 and move it here. Before moving on, I will add a loop cut right here, so it will hold the edge better. And I will also add another loop cut here. Now I will select my top symmetry, press Alt and add a subdivision surface. And I will also rename my objects. So let's rename that screen. This one frame. And this is the back. I will right click, select loop cut, and I will add a loop cut right here. Then I will select my frame. And I will make a cut right here, very close to the edge. Now I will add another loop cut here. And I will select the first edge, press Ctrl and Shift, then the last edge. This is gonna make a loop selection. And then I will right click, slide, and slide it like that. Then another loop cut here. I will select them, double click on them, and move them a little bit further. And I will also select these polygons and move them. I will press Q to see the result. And I got something like that. I will double click on that edge loop and move it a little bit. Then I will select loop cut, press Shift and make a cut in the middle. And I will go to top view and select these points. Now I will go to selection, loop selection, and select that loop. Right click and split. And I will hide that new object. Go to my original object and I will delete. Now I will select these edges, right click and extrude. Then I will add some loop cuts very close to the main edge. Now I will hide that and unhide the object that we just created. And I will select extrude. And I will let loop cut just like before. Okay, no, I have to do that for that side too, but I will just select them, press Alt and G, and I will hide the other objects, and I will enable axis, subdivision model mode, and also enable snap and edge snap. Now I will move my axis right here, and I will press Alt and add a symmetry and change the mirror plane. So if you got this shading error or line, select the font text of the objects and turn off edge breaks. I will unhide other objects, and I will make the symmetry editable. I will press C, and I will just select that group. I will select two objects, go to top view and select the points in the back and move them a little bit. I will select that edge loop, double click on that, and I will select slide and move those edges to the front. And I think we need another loop cut here. Yeah, this is better, more sharper. Now I will work on the frame, buttons on the frame. As before that, I will rename these two plastic frames, and I will just hide them. I will go to right view, and I will create a disk, change the orientation to X, and scale it something like that, but I will also decrease my segments to 8, and I will press Ctrl and duplicate. I will select them both, right click, connect objects and delete. I will delete these points, select these edges, extrude, same here, and I will extrude one more time. Then I will switch points mode, select them, right click and weld. I will duplicate that, press Ctrl and move. And I will move these points to match the image. Now I will turn off my symmetries, select my object, right click, loop cut, and I will make loop cuts right here. Then I will switch to polygon mode, select these polygons, right click, extrude inner. Then I will switch points mode and enable my snap, but I will disable the edge snap. And now I will select these new points and I will snap them to the this object that we just created with the disk. Okay, let's hide that disk, and I will select extrude inner, and I will press Ctrl and move it on the x-axis, and I will do that one more time. Then right click and split, and let's rename that button 1. Then I will press Ctrl and move it on the x-axis, something like that. Then extrude inner and a loop cut right here. Let's press Q to see the result. Yeah, perfect. Now let's make that part. I will make another loop cut here. And I will select these polygons, right click and split. And I will hide them. Go to my frame and I will just delete. Now I have to close that gap. So I will select these edges, go to front view, enable snap, but also enable edge snap, and press Ctrl and move. One more time. But this created double points. So I will select them, right click and weld. Let's do the same thing here. Press Ctrl, but remember to enable axis. Press Ctrl and move. It will snap to the edge or point. One more time. And switch points mode. And weld these duplicated points. Let's press Q. Looks like we need loop cuts right here. Okay, this time I will hide my frame and enable the new object that we created. And I will rename that frame side plastic. So I will do the same steps. Front view, enable snap and extrude. And type them and that. Or you can press Ctrl A, select them all, right click and optimize. This is gonna remove the duplicated points. Okay, let's enable subdivision surface. So I will need some other loop cuts right here and here. Now I need to make my symmetry editable, because as you can see, this button is not at the right place. So I need to make that symmetry object editable, but not that one. So in order to do that, I will put my object somewhere else, and I will change their hierarchy, something like that. Then I will put my object into the symmetry object. Now I can make that editable. I will press C. And now I can play with my points right here. So let's go to the right view. I will just select the points of the two objects, frame and button. Select them and move. And same here. Now I will make the bottom false. So let's switch to top view. Press Shift and V and select the image. This time I will rotate my image minus 90 degrees. And I will offset my X and also my Y axis. Okay, now I will create a disk. Actually, we can use that one. Can we use that? No. So I will create a new one. Make the segments 8 and scale it until it fits here. Now I will press Alt and put that object into a cloner object. And I want that cloner to be linear and not y-axis, on the x-axis. We need 6. And let's make it. Position 5.6 looks good. So I will press C on the clone object. It's gonna make it editable. I will select that disk, press Ctrl and move to duplicate that. Now I will go to my frame. So if I select it from here, it's gonna select the tab polygons. So I will just select them and I will say hide selected, so I can work on these polygons. First thing, let's move these points a little bit here. Then I will select loop cut and I will make cuts right between them and move these points to the middle. I will do that hole later because it is not symmetrical. Okay, now I will right click and extrude inner. Then switch points mode, enable snap, disable edge snap, and I will move these new points to the disk. I will do the same thing for these other holes, but I need a loop cut in the middle. And I will select them, right click, extrude inner, and move the points. Now I will turn off the cloners, visibility of them, and I will select these circles and extrude inner. Then I will press Ctrl and move them. I will do that one more time and I will delete. Let's press Q to see the result. We need to add edge cut here, and then I will go to front view and move it on the y-axis. And I will also move that edge. Okay, now I will go to switch polygon mode and I will say unhide all. Let's see if we have to do something on the top. So we need to make here. So I will press Shift and V and offset one more time. Something like that. This time I will select these polygons and say hide selected. I will make a loop cut here and here and select these polygons. And I will do the same steps that I did in here. I will split, delete that one, hide that one, and I will close that gap. Now I will switch polygon mode and unhide all, and I will enable my symmetry. This time I will make that symmetry editable, as on the left side we have different layout of the buttons. So I will press C on that symmetry object and I will change my camera to left. I will press Shift and V and change my offset. Like that. And I will also select these polygons and I will hide them. This is going to be easier. And I will also select my button 1 so I can move that at the same time. Let's start with here, but let's not select that button. So I will select these two buttons and I will say hide selected. Okay, now I will move these points, but this time that part looks thinner, so I will select them, press T and scale them on the z-axis. And I will also move this point, and it looks like that part is very close to the frame, so I will select that loop, selection, also press Shift, and I will move them on the z-axis. And we have another hole here, so I will create a disk, change orientation and set segments to 8 and put it somewhere here. Then I will select these 4 polygons, right click, extrude inner, switch to points mode and enable snap, and I will move these points to match that disk. but I did that on the wrong object. So remember to select the button. And I will do that one more time. Okay, now I will right click, extrude inner, press Ctrl and move. And one more time, extrude inner. Yeah, and I can delete that disk. Now I need to make another button here, but I will just duplicate that part. I will select here. For that, I will make a loop cut here. So I can select here and delete. I will select these polygons, right click and mirror. But I need to change my mirror plane. Okay, these points are automatically deleted, so we don't need to work on them. So I will switch to point edge mode, select these edges, right click, stitch and sew. And I will connect these edges. Now I can move those points. But I need also duplicate that button. So I will select on these ones. And I will say split and move them. Okay, I will select these two objects and I will say unhide all. And I will press Q, or you can press here to see the result. But I think these buttons are too fat, so I will select them. And I will select them. But this is gonna select other side too, so I will select them and I will scale them on the z-axis. And I will also move them. But now I have to move these points. So looks like that. At the top view, we don't need that part. So I will select frame 1 and I will delete these points. Then I will go to my frame and I will select these polygons and I will delete them. Then I will switch edge mode, select these edges, right click, stitch and sew. And I can move them. Okay, now let's finish the bottom part and we are gonna done with the frame. So I will go to top view, press Shift and V, and I will change my offset one more time. Something like that. So looks like I need to move some of them. But before doing that, I will select these polygons and I will hide them so I cannot accidentally move them. Okay, let's move that one and I will need these 4 holes, and I can just tilt here. I will go to selection, loop selection, select them, and I will grow. Actually grow one more time and delete. And I will right click, close polygon all. Then I will switch to line cut, single line, points mode, and I will connect these points. And I won't need these edges, so I will double click on them. And I will dissolve them. And actually we don't need that one too, so right click, dissolve. Perfect. Now let's that hole or that one. I will use that disk, if you remember. So I will rotate it 90 degrees, press shift. I will scale it. Also move these points to match the image. Now I will select my frame. And I will make some loop cuts here, here, and here. Now I will select polygons, right click, and extrude inner. Then I will switch to points mode, and I will also enable my snap and select these points, and I will try to match that disk. Okay, let's right click and extrude inner. Let's control and move. And one more time. Then I will just wait. Okay, I will unhide all of my polygons. And I won't need that. So unhide it. And now we are done with the frame part. Now we can move to the back of the telephone. But before moving to the back side, I forgot one part. This little button. So let's try to make that. I will select my frame, select these polygons, and I will hide them. So I won't make a mistake. And I will move these edges, points like that. Then I will select these polygons, right click. For that I will select here and delete. Then select these polygons and mirror. Now I will select these edges, right click, and stitch and 0. Okay, now I will scale these points. But I will turn off my X in the coordinates, so it's gonna be a flat scale. If I enable that and scale it like that, it's gonna move inside. It's gonna be something like that. So I will uncheck X and then scale. And I will select the polygons, right click, split, press Ctrl and move. One more time. Actually, I will just extrude inner. I will hide the button to see it better. Now I will make a new cut. Here. And I will select these points, also the points that we just created, and I will move them. Okay, let's get rid of that triangle. I will make a new cut, and I will solo my object and select that edge and dissolve. So for the triangle, I will just new path and press Ctrl and move that point to the next one. It's gonna merge well that. Now I will deselect area polygon, unhide all, and now I will organize my objects. First, let's select the buttons and also turn off solo single. I will select them, press Alt and G, and rename that to buttons. This is frame plastics. Now we can move to the back. Okay, let's hide these objects, and I will only enable my back object. Go to front view. I will change it to back. Press Shift and V, and I will change my offset on the x-axis. So first thing, I will delete the polygons here, but before that I will move these polygons somewhere here. Now I can delete these. I will do that for these polygons, right click and split, and move them here. I will do the same thing here, select these ones and split, and then I will move them one more time. Now I will select them all, right click, connect objects and delete. Now I will switch to points mode and weld these points. Okay, now I will right click, but before that let's move those points to match the shape, like that. Now I will right click and select close polygon hole. Then I will switch points mode, right click, line cut, and I will connect these points. Okay, now I will move these points and I will change my offset to proportional. Then I will press Ctrl and clone these edges. I will double click on that edge loop and I will clone it, but before I should merge these points. Select slide, press Ctrl and clone. Now I will select here, but before that I will duplicate my back and I will hide it. I will use that later. Now I will right click, extrude inner, but not much. Then I will scale it, but enable X and move it on the Z axis. extrude inner one more time, scale, and move. I will change my left view to right. Press Shift and V, and one more time I will change my offset. So we can see that how far we should go. So it's something like that. Then I will double click on that edge loop, right click, slide, press Ctrl, and clone. But I will change my offset mode to fixed distance. I'll select here one more time. Extrude inner. Okay, looks good. I will add another edge loop cut here. And I will move them up. And I will right click, select loop cut, press Shift. And I will add these edge cuts. Now I will make the camera holes. First, we need to know how many segments we need to make the hole. So I will select the polygons. Then press Ctrl and select edge mode, points mode, sorry. Then I will select the points in the middle. So it says we have 16 points. And also move those points so we can fit the disk here. Okay, let's create a disk. Change the orientation. And put it here. And it has 16 segments already. So I will right click, extrude inner, then switch to points mode. Enable snap. And move these new points to the disk. Now I need to do that multiple times. So this is the same as the top one, 16 points. But before I will move those points. Then I can use that disk one more time. Extrude inner. But make sure that you move those points. Extrude inner. Switch points mode. Enable snap. And move the points. Okay, let's try to make that one. This time I will need 40 segments for the disk, so let's make it. And I will also move it. I will extrude inner, but before that, make sure that you have enough space. And I need to move my disk somewhere here. It touches the edge. Okay, now I can make my extrude inner. Switch point mode, enable snap, and move the points. So we need to move some points. So I will select the slide and move. Or we can rotate that selection. Yeah, like that. Let's move to that part. This time I will need 14 segments, just like before, so I won't change anything. I will right click and extrude inner point mode and move. Okay, let's do here. So 14 segments. But this time I will select these polygons because we need some space for that hole. So I will just use these ones. And let's see. Test 10 points. So I should make my disk 10 segments. Extrude inner and move the points. Let's move to the last hole. It looks like we will need just 6 segments for the disk, so let's make it and move it here. Extrude and move the points. Okay, I will disable my disk. And actually we can move the points later. Now I need to make extrusions. I will select them. Press Ctrl. Then I will just delete. Now I will right click, loop cut, and I will add some loop cuts here to the outer edge. And I will switch to points mode, select slide, and move some of the points. I will make a loop selection and I will try to rotate it. Something like that. I will try the same thing here. Select and rotate. Okay, we can't go more further than that. And before we get that one, so I will press Ctrl, move, and one more time, then delete. And I will rotate. Okay. But I want these edges to be more sharper. So I will double click, press Ctrl, select slide, and slide. Like that. I will do the same thing. But watch for these edges. Don't do it too much. Okay, we completed the house. Now we can move on and model the cameras. Let's start from here. I will switch to polygon mode, right click, or no, let's go to selection, loop selection, and select that loop. Then right click, split. And I will move it somewhere here, maybe a little bit longer than that. Then I will select all, right click, and extrude. But I will this time turn on caps and make my extrusion something like that. Now I will split that one more time, and this time move these edges inside. Then I will press T, and I will also press Ctrl and scale. Then I will do it one more time, but this time I will press U and C, or you can right click, select collapse. I will rename that to cam glass and hide it. Then I will select that object one more time, select that loop, right click and split, and move these edges like that. Press Ctrl and move. And I will press Ctrl and scale it one more time. This time I will move them on the z-axis. Then I will press Ctrl and move. Now I will switch to scale, press Ctrl and scale. Then collapse. Now I will select these polygons, right click and split. This is gonna be our cam lens. I will hide that, go to that object and delete that one. And I will right click, extrude inner, switch edge mode, and I will select these edges and I will dissolve them. Now I will select these polygons and move them. Also I will move that point. I will solo it and enable subdivision surface. Then I will select all of my points and scale them on the z-axis. And I will also go to mesh axis and execute. Turn up to solo. Okay, now I will select that part. Select edge mode, right click, loop cuts. And I will also need some loop cuts to make those edges sharper. I don't know why, but my camera lens went here. So I will enable my X snap and move it where it was. Okay, I will solo my cam glass and I will add some loop guards. Now I will select all these three objects, go to mesh, axis center, and execute. And select these two objects and put them under the cam lens. Now I will move that group, but I will also put that object under my cam lens. And I will press Ctrl and move them. I will press Ctrl. I will do that one more time. But I will also make that all smaller. One of the Z. It should be something like that. Okay, now let's those here, select them. And split. And move those edges. Press T. Scale it one more time, then collapse. And I will add a loop cut here. Then I will select these loops, loop selection, and split. And I will scale them a little bit and select these edges and move them. Then select that edge loop, press T, Ctrl and scale. And one more time. Then collapse. So this is gonna be glass. I will rename that flash glass. Add this to flash. And I will select them, go to mesh, axis center, and execute. Turn off the solo. I will select the flash glass and I will press Ctrl and move it. I will rename that sensor. And it looks like this is sharper than that, so I will select that edge loop, slide and move it to the edge. Something like that. Okay, now I will unhide my other objects. And I will double click on that edge, press Ctrl and move. Here should be sharper. And one more thing, I will select that loop and I'm gonna scale it. This part doesn't look correct, so I will try to fix it. Then I will select this point and move them. Same here. I am trying to make the distance between these points the same. Yeah, that is a lot better. Let's make the last part, the screen part. So I will select my screen and solo it. Turn off the subdivision surface. But before making anything, I will duplicate my screen and rename that inside screen and hide it. Now I can my back and change it to front and press Shift and V and change the offset. Okay, now I will double click on that edge loop, right click, bevel, and I will bevel it 4 times. And I will move those edges. Now I will select these ones, right click and extrude inner. Now I will select these corner edge points and scale them on the z-axis. And I will also scale these ones. Now I will extrude inner, press Ctrl and move, and one more time. Then I will split that part, hide it, and split these ones. Now I will make the front camera. I will add a disk, change the rotation, and put it here. And should be inside the screen. Then I will make it editable, press C, select all, and extrude inner. And I will solo that disk, press Ctrl and move. Then I will press UP, or you can right click split and delete these polygons in the first object. For the second one, press Ctrl and move. And also extrude inner. And I will delete these edges. Move them, move that point. And I will rename that front cam prime, this one to front cam. And I will let edge loops. And I will also put these to that group. And I can delete these ones. But before closing the tutorial, I will add some quick adjustments, like that part. If I enable my subdivision surface, this part is not right, so I will select that object, edge mode, loop cut, and add a loop cut here. And also I saw that part doesn't match here. I will select that object, switch points mode, go to front view, select these ones and move them. Same here. For that part, I will deselect all. I will select my brush and make it smaller. Okay, now that's better. Okay guys, we have finished the model. I hope you liked it. It was long and sometimes boring, but you have to do that sometimes to get a better result. If we had more time, we could do that better. But in that 1 hour, or I don't know how long it took, you made a good job, and I'll see you in the next tutorial. Bye.